Did you know that socks, tees, and underwear are the top requested clothing items in homeless shelters? Well, Bombas is doing something about it by creating incredibly comfy essentials and donating one for each one purchase. Bombas' one purchase equals one donated mission has helped donate over 100 million clothing items to people facing homelessness. They are comfort geniuses over at Bombas. Whether it's an arch-supporting sock, a buttery soft tee, or underwear that feels like nothing, they are on top of it. And if you're worried about the wrong size, Bombas offers hassle-free returns with their 100% happiness guarantee. I love Bombas. I love their socks. I wore them all through chemo because they have compression socks that were great for my ankles, and they were so comfortable. So if you're ready to get comfy and give back, head over to bombas.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 20% off your first purchase. This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
That's right. I'm on the hard stuff today. I am on generic brand plain seltzer.
Wow. I mean, you're doing okay? Slams into the table.
I'm going to say it right out of the gate. This isn't going to be my best performance.
We want to manage expectations immediately. It's a weird day.
It's a weird day, man.
I've had anxiety all day long today. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not happy to hear that. Let me just say that out the gate.
I'm excited to be here because I feel like I always feel better after podcasting.
Okay, good. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
It's your second therapy of the day in many ways. Well, I don't like to hear that you have anxiety, but I will say anxiety loves company.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone else I've been getting on social media and everyone's like, I just woke up today vibrating from gratitude. And I'm like, not me, bitch.
I had that.
I had that this weekend.
Over the weekend, yeah. I was doing great. I even posted like a vlog being like, I'm so happy. La, la, la. And then like,
oh, I know.
Today I'm just like, well, for me at least, I was telling you a little bit earlier, I've just been having hot flashes at night. Yeah. Like a true woman in menopause. Like it pisses me off and makes me laugh every time. Like I'm used to getting anxiety, like heat in my body.
Oh, okay. When you're awake.
When I'm awake and conscious and reacting to a stimuli and like getting anxious. But when this comes on, I'm always like, what the fuck is, like, what am I reacting to? What's bothering me? Mm-hmm. But it's supposed to, like, one of the side effects is that the hot flashes get worse at night. So I've just been like waking up hot. Elliot will like cuddle me and I'll be like, get off me.
Get off me, bitch. Wait,
off.
Is this because of radiation or because of, because mine is actual premenopause, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, who knows at this? I mean, yeah, I'm technically in menopause from the medicine I was taking before, but radiation also stirs up the hot flashes. Right. So it's just like a perfect storm of waking up
covered in sweat,
angry.
Well, see, angry. I wake up totally covered in sweat, and then Chip will be like, you also wear head to toe pajamas every night.
Yeah. Well, same.
I'm like, to soak it up. You're welcome. Because I mean, we would need that mattress protector. I think.
But what does he think that pajamas, like for a normal person, make them sweat like crazy?
Well, you weigh in, Morgan, because the thing is, I'll be like, I'm so hot.
And on top of that,
but it's not like, it's not like I'm waking up being like, whoo, I'm hot. I mean, granted, I do sleep beside a tiny heater. Yeah. And if like Larry's also here, then it's double heater.
She means beans, not like an actual tiny heater in her bed.
However, I was getting so hot in bed that I have looked into, they have like a blanket that essentially like has a tube that like will blow cold air on you all night.
That sounds great.
It's like a Flowbee.
Yeah.
But for keeping you cool.
That sounds nice. Thank God for our sponsors in the past. Brooklyn and Sheets, they cool. Bless. They're not currently sponsoring us, so I have no catalyst to say this, but their sheets genuinely run so cool. They're great.
They're fantastic. But so it won't be the pajamas, but I will wake up, Grace.
Yeah.
It's like I sweat more than I sweat when I exercise.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So then I wake up and I'm all like gloating and I'm like, I guess I can skip the gym today.
You can skip the sauna bag.
Because I just woke up drenched as if I had taken like a kickboxing class.
Is it just at night, not during the day? You don't feel hot during the day? It's just at night?
I think it's truly that I'm in my early
You're
40s.
entering menopausal. Premenopause.
It's like, get this thing out of me.
Yeah.
I never wanted kids.
Hey, yeah. I mean, you should have
Should
pushed for this.
I don't know if he's going to love or hate that I say this. He's so kidding. But it makes me crack up every time. I'll be like, God, I've got cramps. He'll be like, I'm sorry, babe. I told you to get fixed. Saying getting fixed about a human is so funny to me. But speaking of getting fixed and going to the vet.
Yeah. Woof.
You know, I had a rough morning.
Yeah.
I had a rough morning, you guys. Beans got sick at 5 a.m. It was scary. I mean, it is, you would think that taking a tiny dog to be seen at like an animal hospital was like I was asking for, you know, like immediate brain surgery and like they had to fly in the specialist. Like I just, oh God, it was hell of a morning. So I feel discombobulated because I've been up since like 4.
Yeah. You texted me before 9 a.m. and I'm like, why is Mamrie texting me so early for Mamrie's text?
Wow.
I was like, but you texted me being like, I've been up since 5.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this seems like an early morning text is usually like cause for panic.
So tiniest dog, Grace.
She's doing okay though.
She's in my eye line right now.
Yeah, she's been trying to sneak out of this room and Mamrie will not let her leave this room.
No, I can see one ear. I have no idea what's going underneath those blankets going on, but like the fact that I can see the tip of her ear, like you would truly think like I basically sat there this morning and will all night like this.
Yeah.
Like when you're checking your own pulse or when you used to pretend you knew what you were doing when they'd tell you to check your own pulse in PE class.
Wrists, I don't know, somewhere on my forearm.
They'd be like, how's your heart rate?
Thumping.
Is that what it is? Oh, but you get it.
I mean, I don't know, maybe it's cognitive dissonance. Maybe I don't think that's the right even words for this, but I have not let myself even think about like Goose passing.
No.
I don't
Did
even
you
wanna
want us to
talk
have panic attacks on air?
That's what I mean. I'm like, I want to ask, and then I'm like, no, I don't, because I haven't thought about it, and I'm going to keep that in a locked closet until I need to open it up.
Girl, I can't even imagine because like you just dealt with like actual looking at your mortality, and I'm talking about my little 5-pound best friend, and I'm like openly weeping because she had some scary pukes.
I didn't even like. For me, going through what I went through, I have probably more emotional reaction to thinking about Goose like passing. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's repression, like compartmentalize like myself in my medical situation, but like the Goose of it all is just like haven't even let myself think about it.
Oh, no, it was one of those.
Not today either.
Not today. No, but it was one of those mornings where I was like, is today the day I enter the mental institution? Like, is today the day that for change? And of course, like, it's fine. So I'm in, head to toe pajamas.
Yep. You're covered in sweat.
I'm covered in sweat.
You're soaked.
For a real reason. I'm in lightsaber pajamas.
Star Wars
Lightsaber pajamas.
I thought you were saying lightsaber, like it was some brand of pajama.
No, they're like I wear extra light pajamas because I sweat so much. I'm in zip up a onesie, covered in lightsabers, Uggs, and then this might get weird hoodie with like the black hood, like the Raglan hoodie, and I was like that in 4 different waiting rooms this morning.
That's how you walked out this morning?
I left the house at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
and was like, am I going to the animal hospital? And like I told you, like, I love reading an Amazon review about an article of a pair of pants. Yeah. Reading an animal hospital review is the scariest possible thing you could do. So I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go to our actual vet. Like the second, like I was there 20 minutes before it opened to try to get in there. But I looked insane.
Well, you played the part of panicked owner that literally ran out of the house in what she was wearing.
Truly. So anyway, Beans is fine. But wowie zowie. It's the emotional adrenaline dump.
Of course. Yeah. And also today has been an overcast day, so it's looked exactly like it does now probably when you were out this morning. And that makes me crazy. I'm not afraid to admit I am ultra sensitive to weather these days.
Really?
Yeah. Like this, I think think it's obviously contributed to my anxiety today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this low hum of dread and melancholy?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like complete gloom outside.
It's a gloomy day. No, to the point where I texted you and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to try to take like a 1 hour nap before we podcast just because I'm so crazy. And because it's so dark out, I woke up like 5 times thinking I'd overslept and we didn't have a podcast for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You guys won a basket case.
Woo! She's been through it. She's been through it today.
I say that when I literally got back from like a beautiful vacation last
I
night.
know,
Which is why it's so crazy.
I know that you didn't even get to like settle in.
No, not at all.
Yeah, how was your vacation?
It was gorgeous.
It looked so fun.
It was beautiful. It was Melissa, who you've heard about on here and in book. I mean, like Grace knows, but I'm talking to you guys. And then Megan, who's in all of my books, my like New York bestie, and then Erica, my college roommate. So we've all known each other for like 20 years.
Amazing. Melissa, I keep forgetting to say this on This Might Get Real. The girl Jess on The Bachelor reminds me so much of Melissa.
Which one is Jess?
The southern one that just got sent home in the middle of like their cocktail party.
Oh, she reminds you of Melissa?
Yeah, a little bit, just like the depth of her voice.
Her
voice.
Yeah, the low register.
The low register.
She's a high vibration, low register person.
Yeah. She's incredible.
No, so it was so much fun. I'd been there before. It's like the fancy place. So we got hooked up and it was like we had like a suite.
Nice.
Like we had our own pool.
Oh, so everyone stayed in one suite
Oh, yeah.
together.
We like had our own pool.
Fun.
We had a pool.
That's like a housewife's trip.
That's literally what we said. I told them, I was like, this is going to be housewives. And then my friend Erica, who like, I realized I haven't been on a trip with since spring break.
In college.
2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you picked up like you never left off.
And so she showed up and she was like, Mamrie, I thought we were like all splitting a room. And I got to like feel like, yeah, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Hey, welcome. You know,
got the hookup.
I'm taking the master.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you divvy up rooms?
No, I always feel weird, but it was all good to go. There were like more beds than people, but it was like
Fun.
gorgeous. And we just, we like spent the first day, we got there, we had a nice dinner. The next day was like an all day pool day, one of those days where you're like, have I had 5 drinks before noon? What's happening?
Yep.
And then on the second day, we go to the adults only pool.
Ooh.
Nothing, no wieners out.
No wieners out, less piss in the pool. What a great experience.
Well, not when this gang rolls through. But I go there and I'm sitting at the pool and we like have already caused a ruckus. There's probably only like 12 people at the pool.
No, you guys. The college besties reunited 20 years later.
But like a polite ruckus. Like, because they had the loungers facing out because it was a pool overlooking the ocean. And we, there were 2 open ones and then 2 open ones, but not together. So we were like, is there any way we can move those so we can have all 4 right here? Like, we're moving chairs. And then I look up and I lock eyes and it's Daniel Prada. A friend of ours.
A content creator.
Yes.
Blowing up on TikTok.
Blowing up. And I just go, and I was just like, as I live and breathe, is that Daniel Prada. He's in a Speedo.
With the most beautiful eyebrows I've ever seen on a person in a long time.
Total. He's a beautiful man. And he just takes off his glasses. He goes, no. And I go, yes. He goes, I was wondering who these loud girls were. So it was actually kind of fun because it was like an LA friend meeting some old friends and he was there with, like one of his besties. So it was a good time. I just came home to gloom, doom, and...
Okay, Beans was like, did you have a great time? I'm
Great.
going to throw up some blood.
I'm going to scare the shit out of you for a long time.
Fantastic.
Oh, man.
Well, that's awesome. Big weeks. I had a big week. I rang the bell last week.
Wait, have we not talked about this on here?
I feel like I've talked about it everywhere. And I don't.
Oh my God.
Because I think we recorded This Might Get Real after.
Oh my God.
But
Wait,
we didn't talk about it
screw
on
everything I'm talking about. This is massive.
But I've also just put it everywhere. So it's a bit old news by now.
Huge news. It's not old news. It's the news.
Well, I did find out that too, like, this is how silly it is of me forgetting to ask doctors things and not really knowing stuff. I finally remembered to ask my oncologist on Wednesday if I was in remission.
Like if you could use that word.
Yeah, because the words are so specific that I don't want to incorrectly be telling people something that's not true. Especially when I just think about what would Hank say.
I know, because people ask me about you and I'm just like, she finished radiation.
Right.
There's no cancer detected.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
Like, it's complete response synonymous with remission. And then finally he was like, yeah, you've been in remission since your surgery, since we got the results back from your surgery. So I was like, that's great to know.
So remission means you could still be doing radiation.
Yeah, well, yes. And because radiation and the hormone therapy that I'm getting every 3 weeks now, they're all extra credit. Like I could opt out of that if I want to, because he was even saying about the hormone therapy. He's like, yeah, you're getting treated for a disease you don't have with a drug that you don't need right now. This is just to make sure the recurrence doesn't happen. And if I get so many years without a recurrence, they consider it a cure. So that's like, yeah, the game that we're playing. So I'm getting all of the extra credit. And
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like you're doing your vitamins to prevent from getting sick.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like, I don't know, in a way.
That works for sure.
It's preventative.
Exactly. And also, I just want to continue to get an A in breast cancer. So it's going well.
I feel like you're the valedictorian of breast cancer.
Thank you. It was very... surreal to ring the bell and say goodbye. I did give CDs to the radiologist.
Did you? Calming music CDs?
I got them 4 CDs.
Where'd you get them? Tell me everything.
Barnes & Noble. You wouldn't believe it, 30% off all of their CDs.
What? CDs are on sale these days?
Yeah. I got Soul Adventures, A Journey Through Music to Healing and Relaxation.
Wow. Wow.
Volume 1.
Okay.
Clouds. Music for relaxation.
Just clouds.
You'll never guess the cover is just clouds.
Get out of here.
I got Tracy Chapman Greatest Hits and Katy Perry Teenage Dream.
Wow.
At the very end, because I gave them like a satchel gift.
That's so
like it wrapped
sweet.
up. And I was like, I got you CDs. And I was like trying to explain because they were like, oh, thank you. And I was like, because you guys have just a CD player. And they were like, oh. I was like, oh my God.
They were like, this girl's radiation made her think it's 1999.
Yeah, it
clicked. Is so sweet.
And then like at the end of my treatment, I'm just like laying there. They're like, okay, and breathe in and one last quick one and hold and great. And Rachel is obsessed with the Katy Perry CD already. I was like, oh, that's so great.
Isn't she laying on clouds on that CD cover?
Yeah. So it is, it's all related. Yeah. Wow. I gave them a little bit of everything.
That's so sweet.
And it was very sweet. It was a very surreal day. I had to ask about ringing the bell. It wasn't.
They were going to let you walk out without ringing?
Well, so I did the whole thing.
And I saw you didn't scream Liv Moss.
I didn't.
No.
Because,
my suggestion.
Well, I was blank because one, there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
But 2, we're in the room waiting for the doctor after my final radiation treatment, and no one yet. Like everyone said, congratulations on your last treatment, but not a person has said you're going to ring the bell. And Elliot and I were like sitting there waiting, and I was like, do you think I have to like ask about it? And he was like, just ask about it.
Yeah, screw it.
Yeah. And I asked, and she was like, well, it's a personal choice. And I was immediately like,
you're immediately like, well,
I won't do it then because it'll bother everyone. Because she was like, it's a personal choice with everyone's, everyone has a different emotional reaction to their treatment process.
Totally.
And so if you do want to ring it, just let us know and we can set that up. And of course, I'm like, wow, this is a little bit more to do than it just being something that I have agreed to do.
I get it.
Now
you wanted to come out of like the dressing room and they like hand you a little thing to ring it with. And,
of like, this is what you do, of course. But Elliot was great at like encouraging me, like, you're probably going to want to do that. And I was like, yeah, okay. Because it was, again, another dreary day in LA. Like the lobby, you never want to make someone feel bad with like your own celebration of your stuff. But it ended up being like very sweet. And I'm really glad I did it because it was a great thing to like send my family, like visual symbolism. That was really sweet. By now, you know that I, Grace Helbig, have a very strong opinion about bras. I find them very uncomfortable most of the time. I usually always opt for sports bras or sports bra-esque type bras, but that's where Skims comes in. Ooh, Skims bras do me so good, especially in the last year. I've been wearing their Fits Everybody Scoop bralette the entirety of my radiation treatment because it is that comfortable. And now I'm getting into underwire bras. You wouldn't believe it. I'm getting into it because their underwire bras are so so comfortable. Their Fits Everybody t-shirt bra is the best t-shirt bra that I've seen. It is so comfortable. It comes in a ton of different colors. The straps are adjustable, and the Fits Everybody material is the best for all-day comfort. I've also tried their no-show Unlined Demi bra and their weightless Scoop bra, and they are all absolutely fantastic. If you're interested, shop Skims bras at skims.com, now available in 62 sizes, 30A to 46H. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $75. And if you haven't yet, be sure to let them know that we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show from the drop-down menu that follows.
You know when you get cornered by that aunt at a family gathering and you just bend the truth so you don't have to deal with all those incessant questions like when you're getting married or what are you actually doing with your life or why haven't you moved out of your mother's basement only for her to not really listen and just judge you anyway? Well, while you sometimes have to just grin and bear it with your family, you shouldn't feel that way when talking to your doctor about maybe that rash that's looking like the state of Florida, or maybe how many times you eat pizza a week, or how many glasses of wine you had last weekend. Enter ZocDoc, the place where you can find and book doctors who will make you feel absolutely comfortable and actually listen to you. And we're not talking about a few, we're talking about tens of thousands of doctors, all with verified patient reviews, so you can make sure the vibes are vibing before you meet IRL, all right? You can look to see how their bedside manner really is. With ZocDoc, you've got more options than you know. Here's how it works. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. You log in your insurance and then they're going to show you exactly what you need. If, let's say, you have this type of insurance and you need to go see a podiatrist and you need to do it soon because you had a water skiing accident last weekend. I have no idea why you'd see a podiatrist, but here we are. Just go with me, okay? You can log in all of those specific things and they are going to find the exact doctor you need that takes your insurance and available dates. I have used ZocDoc the night before most of my appointments because if I plan something in advance, I forget to go. I've gone to the dentist the day after booking on ZocDoc, the gynecologist, the allergist, all types of doctors, all well rated and all where I got to look up their reviews and make sure they were the type of doctor that I wanted to see in the vibe world. The typical wait time to see a doctor book on ZocDoc is between 24 and 72 hours, okay? That's it. You can even get same day if you need it. So you need to go to ZocDoc.com/weird and download ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/weird. ZocDoc.com/weird. They are the best. Get your stuff together, people. Go make all those appointments you've been avoiding because it seems like it's such a hassle. Because now, with ZocDoc, it's not.
But now it's just been strange to not drive there every day. Like,
right.
I actually enjoyed it.
Like, you don't have homework.
I know. That's how I keep saying, like, tell me you've never had an office job in 15 years without telling me you haven't had an office job.
Look, I'm sure.
And I'm like, driving to this one building every day and seeing familiar people has been really nice.
It's so weird how that's like just so not the norm anymore.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I worked some office jobs when I lived in New York in my 20s, but it's been so long that even like that week I was driving to Claire's house for the cookbook. And even though it was downpouring every day, there was something about if I had to do this every day, I know I would hate it if there's no end in sight. But because of that, it was like, I'm going to get my coffee.
Yeah.
I'm going to collect my thoughts.
Oh, it's
I'm
great.
going to let,
a ritual.
like a little like built-in mandatory alone time.
Mandatory?
Mandatory?
Yeah, mandatory. I thought you said mandatory.
I think I do. I say mandatory.
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 Yeah.
I say mandan. There we go. There's another one for the books, y'all.
By the way, I have to find, I took a screenshot of, I was listening to The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, which we've talked about in our Patreon live streams. He at one point pronounces ancient.
Like me?
Like you. And I rewound it like 5 times.
It's the sign of a genius.
And it was, it caught me off guard and also made me laugh very hard. It was great.
Well, add mandatory.
Mandatory.
Damn it.
The benefit of the bell ringing thing, Cheesecake Factory slid into my DMs.
Girl, I saw and What is happening?
They did. Well, let me rephrase this. They did not slide into my DMs. They left a comment
on your
telling
TikTok.
me to slide into their DMs.
And I saw you immediately said, just did.
Just did. Yeah, I got it. Boom, on there.
We don't procrastinate everything except that.
Well, also, I didn't even tag them in the video. So I don't know what kind of search stuff they're looking at of their name.
People must have gone on their... People must have been tagging Cheesecake Factory in your comments.
I hope so. Well, it worked because they asked me to DM them. I DM them. I wait all day. No response.
Oh, God.
And I'm
nerve-wracking.
going, now, shit. Now I'm in a very strange predicament of...
Because it's not mandatory that they DM you back.
Exactly. This could be a cruel joke. And
Did you go back to make sure it wasn't like the cheese_cake factory?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I checked like 1,000 times. I never look at TikTok, and I was on it all day just refreshing my messages to see if they'd seen it. And I went to bed being like, still no message. God damn. Like, what do I don't... Ooh, this is a delicate situation. I woke up 7 a.m., messaged them again on like a Saturday
Yes.
morning.
Yes.
I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then they sent me a link to a $100 gift card.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to the good life, kid.
Thank you. Feels good. And we had just literally used a gift card to go to Cheesecake Factory that my parents gave me for Christmas.
Wow.
After ringing the bell. So I'll just continue to eat at my favorite place.
Your life is rich with the cheesecake.
Well,
I think
reaping all the rewards.
I think that's actually a good segue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we, as you know, the first half of this podcast is just about anxiety.
Yeah, just getting it out there.
Gloom, anxiety,
everyone
mortality.
Loves to listen to podcasts in which the hosts are just like, I'm anxious. Me too. Okay.
I'm scared. Is it weather or dogs dying?
Should we talk about what we're going to do when our dogs die?
Do you guys want to know our mental escape plan for when our lives change forever?
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Beans? Hey, Beansers?
She's doing great.
Is she okay?
I see a full skull.
I saw an ear move. Okay.
Yeah.
We talked about, as you all know, the infamous potato countdown a couple weeks ago.
And amazing to see everyone's keeping score of their own list against ours. That was so fun.
I love it. And bringing up things that we had forgotten about, all that. So we thought we would do like a truncated, less pressure, or so we thought. Because we were only going to do 5 of them. Our top dips. Yes.
You texted me.
This was rough.
I'm shocked at how difficult this was.
Yeah.
My immediate thing was that I was confronted with the fact that I don't know that many dips.
And
I clearly haven't been eating dips in a while. When I Googled them, I was like, what is this universe that I have not been a part of for so long?
Once again, I Googled top dips. And a lot of them you're like, that's not a top dip. That's your top dip recipe. But here's the thing. Before we get into these dips, couple caveats, which I'm reading from my note that says dip caveats.
Yeah, perfect. Yes. Yeah, I have some as well.
Number 1, I think my dip, when people listen to it, they might not agree. They might agree on some. But the thing is that I've got 2 things going against me. 1, I'm vegetarian, which rules out quite a few dips. Yeah. And 2, I'm not a mayonnaise girl. Ooh. I'm not a mayonnaise or cream cheese or, you know what I mean? Like I can
no
get away.
Creams.
Not a big cream girl. So I can get away with knowing there's like a sour cream in a thing or whatnot. But a lot of the dips are just kind of off the table for me, literally.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I know. And then, which is funny because then you look up vegetarian dips and half of them you go, that's a casserole.
Yeah.
That's not a dip.
Well, that's the thing.
What makes it a dip?
That was my first question is the definition of dip, I think, is very personal, perhaps. I mean, there's some generalities.
There's a thin line between a dip and a sauce.
Mine are all dips.
Mine are all dips too. But some might argue ranch is a sauce and a dressing. But if you make your own and put it in between crudité, it's officially a dip.
I wrote down, is peanut butter considered a dip?
I literally took peanut sauce off my list.
That's a sauce. It says it in the name.
It is. However, I have seen it surrounded by crudité.
And Damn, peanut sauce is so good.
I know.
When you dip like what are they called? The egg rolls,
Like
the rice paper.
Like a summer roll.
Yes.
However, then in that form, I think it's a sauce.
But your
Here's
dipping
what I'll
is the
say.
action.
Here's the thing. Here's what I am.
Because it's not poured over top like a sauce. You're dipping like a dip. Is the dip the substance itself? Is it the like physical movement you make in which you eat it?
Here's how I'm basing it.
My head's going to explode.
I know. I truly. Here's how I am basing it.
Okay.
A dip is the star.
Yes.
Whatever you're using to get it out,
Yeah.
be it a chip,
Okay.
a tortilla, whatever, a
Main
baby
character.
carrot, whatever. The dip is the main character. So you can't go like, oh, well, peanut sauce with the summer roll. The summer roll's the star.
Yep, I got it. That
You know what I
makes
mean?
so much
So
sense.
it really has to be the centerpiece.
Yes.
And then it could be like, oh, I prefer it with blah, blah, blah. But that's
Yeah.
more of the blank canvas.
Yeah.
Like
it's
ketchup
the,
isn't a dip because the fry is the star.
Right. It's the control. Like all the rest are variables.
Yes.
Science. Is that how it works?
So good. I thought you meant like actually controlling something. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, the dip has the control over the food energy of what's in front of you.
But this was
The dip is
difficult.
the dom and the dippers are the submissives.
There we go.
Okay.
But one might call this very difficult.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
How is that not a chapter in your cookbook? This made me really want to start making dips again.
Yeah.
I've been very much out of the game. See, potatoes were a little bit easier for me because like the starch I have been able to have the last
Right.
year. But dips, some of the spices and stuff were a little too
Off the
wily for
table.
me. But this makes me want to treat myself now.
This makes you want to dip your toe back in.
Dip my toe back in.
There we go. All right. I think we should do the same thing.
Ooh.
Some of these are controversial.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Because the other thing I want to say is that this is a very emotional thing for me. Like the dips themselves, sometimes I went with just the majority of the time, this is what I would go for. Because there's some dips where when I'm in the mood for it, it's like number one. But there's some
Right.
dips that like are fine that I could have all the time.
Well, I went a little, mine is a mix.
Yeah.
Because I would say these are my favorite dips overall. However, the dip that I eat most in this world is not on this list.
Same.
I'm interested to see if it's, I
think it might be the same thing.
The same answer.
But these, yes, I went with my gut of when I am thinking on this day in this part of my life, what do I want to eat at a party if I see a bunch of dips? What do I hope is there?
This top 5 dips is for this current season in your
Yes.
life, in your taste buds.
Yes.
All that. I think we should start with number 1.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if you went venue specific.
No,
Like, are you throwing out a TGI Fridays, or are you just saying the overall dip?
I thought about that, but for these dips, I really couldn't. I had no flavor memories that came
Okay.
up.
I have just overall dip, like just
Yeah.
the name of the dip, but then I can get into specifics of where I would
Okay.
prefer it from
Okay,
and exactly how I want it.
great. I can't wait.
I'm
That's how far out of the game I am. Is that I don't have those,
okay.
but I wish I did. Okay, let's go with number 1.
Me or you first.
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, my number 1.
Yeah.
This just came to me as like, this is what I think
Oh my
about
God,
when I want to dip.
I'm nervous.
Basic bitch 7-layer Mexican dip.
Wow. Okay.
Like Gelson's does a really good 7-layer Mexican dip. This grocery store in the
Okay.
neighborhood, and it is just so it's got a little bit of everything I want because guacamole is not on my list. And though that is a dip I love a lot,
yeah.
I feel like I would cover my bases with the 7-layer.
As long as one of the layers is the guac,
Yeah.
guac gets pushed off the top 5.
Yeah.
Wow. See,
And I know I'm not, like I'm saying that out loud and I'm like, is that real? Yeah. 7-layer Mexican
stand
dip.
by it.
But guac would be honorable mention.
Okay.
If we were doing top 10.
I have some honorable mentions for sure.
Okay.
I do have a bean-based dip in my top 5, but it's not the 7-layer.
Okay.
And you know why? The black olives. Who
I love 'em.
needs them?
See, I like the little
Really?
tang. Yeah, I like the texture and I like a little tang.
See, the only olives I like are like little green ones that are like sautéed in something.
Ah, yes.
I would never want like a black olive ring on a top on
What
a
about like in a
pizza.
martini?
A black olive?
Not a black olive, a cold green olive.
Here's the thing. I never go for dirty martinis. I go for Gibson's, which is the pickled onion.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Classy.
Or
Elegant.
a pickle martini, but like an actual olive
It's like
brine
an
martini.
olive that got scared. Just pickled onion.
That's my ghost olive.
Yeah.
So 7-layer dip. Okay.
Yeah, that just felt right to me of like, for the majority of the time, that would be my favorite one.
That's a good way to incorporate a lot of different flavors into
Yeah, it's
one
a
and
bit
get away
cheating.
with it.
Yeah.
No, it's not cheating. It's an iconic dip.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Good
When
for
I
you.
looked up dips, it came up.
It's a party. It's a party. My number one dip, I think you probably know this.
Okay, I'm curious.
Spinach and artichoke dip.
Yeah.
I'm a slut for an artichoke.
Yeah.
I love a spinach and artichoke dip.
Okay, now I bet you can get specific.
Houston's.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
The Hillstone Restaurant Group.
Yes, absolutely.
This is why. It's perfect. It's bubbly. That one.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll go to the grocery store or places and they'll be like, here's some spinach dip. And it's white and cold. And I said, what the fuck in the South is this?
Yeah, like I think Chili's makes a spinach artichoke dip. but
TGI Fridays does for sure.
one of those places, I think it's Chili's with the chips, whatever chips they serve,
Yeah.
I do not like. And
Oh,
that is
really?
controversial. Yeah, because they are thin and greasy.
I don't mind a thin, greasy.
But they can't pick up, like it's
they can't hold the weight.
They can't hold the weight. And it's, it's embarrassing.
I hear that. There are some places that will serve a spinach and artichoke dip with like a warmed tortilla. Like
That's
a
great.
flour tortilla.
Excellent,
And I
yeah.
really enjoy that because
Yeah.
you do need like a sturdy vessel for that. But a spinach and artichoke dip, I've been a fan forever. I remember when TGI Fridays first started their like frozen line.
Yeah.
They sold them and it was basically like 2 burger patties of spinach dip. And I would make it at home.
Yeah,
This
that
little
sounds great.
This high schooler was defrosting a little rock solid icy thing of spinach dip.
She's always been a chef.
Oh, I love it. So yeah, a spinach dip.
Hell yeah.
At Houston's, Hillstones, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I worked there for 3 months.
I know. Oh God, I
Amazing.
wouldn't have been able to.
So that's why
quit
I'm like
with the dip.
I know it was what servers would eat a lot.
Okay.
Because it's so delicious.
It's so delicious. Okay, number 2.
Okay, number 2. Now, this is, I'm just gonna say it. Number 2, crack dip, is what the internet calls it.
I would like
Now,
more details.
Crack dip. 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1 cup sour cream, half cup of mayonnaise. This is just one recipe.
This is my nightmare.
An ounce of the ranch dressing mix, garlic powder, shredded cheese, bacon bits, and green onions, and you just mix it all up. I know this is your
Oh.
nightmare dip, but I am a slut for those ranch flavor packets with like sour cream or mayonnaise or cream cheese.
Here's the deal. I don't just buy the ranch packets.
Yeah.
I have one of the like ranch containers
Hell yeah.
because I will add that to like little roasted baby potatoes.
Great idea.
Things like that. I'll make a ranch vinaigrette.
Yeah. Hell
but
yeah.
so this crack dip, as you say, and might be offensive
Which I'm sorry.
to the drug epidemic.
I looked up dips and crack dip came up all over the place. And I was like, what are these like bored housewives up to?
Yeah, they're like, we're getting crazy tonight, girls. I brought my barefoot Pinot Grigio and crack dip. Is it served cold or hot?
Cold. So that's my a cold. See, we're opposite in that. Like cold cream
Yes.
dip is like delicious.
Well,
to
here's
me.
the deal. It's like the 7-layer dip as well.
Yeah,
That's
same cold.
that's a cold bean.
Yeah. My tops are
Interesting.
My top 2 are cold. Yeah.
Is it your tooth sensitivity?
No, it's just my flavors I like. Well, I do like cold dips more.
I like that your second dip is essentially a twice baked potato without the potato.
Yeah. I mean, it's basic. That's because also, like I said before, when I started looking up dips, I realized there's a lot of dips out there I do not know about.
Yeah.
So my
gotta
list
get back
is
in.
a bit of a naive list in the world of dips.
I will tell you a dip goal I have after this that I stumbled upon, but I was like, that sounds amazing. Can't put it on the list. I've never eaten it.
Right. So many
However,
of
I
them-
feel like if I had, it would be on the list.
That's how I felt going through all these photo galleries on like delish.com.
Southernliving.com.
I'm on allrecipes.com. Oh, with the gallery, this gallery says the favorite dip of each state.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'll tell you about that
interesting.
later.
My number 2,
Too. Yeah.
queso.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Just a great queso. Let me tell you, I feel like a level of rage I can barely even express when I go to a Mexican place and they have queso fundido. And it's just microwave cheese, baby. It's not a dip.
What's queso fundido versus queso?
Queso is like, well, in the South, you can make it all kinds of ways. Well, like, let's not even beat around the bush. Like Velveeta and a can of tomatoes and chilies, Rotel. Or it'll be like, there's evaporated milk in it. I want a thinner dip, a thinner queso, like a white queso.
Yes.
We can put in some hatch chilies. We can do a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
I obviously I'm not doing a sausage. I want to dip the chip, pull it out, let that harden again. Like I am making candles.
Yep. Yeah.
In the 1800s, go for a second dip and then eat it. I want a thin white queso. I can't. I'm drooling.
That does sound amazing.
Right?
Because queso it's smoky. It's delicious.
It's fantastic. And
I don't know if I've ever made my own queso before.
Let me tell you right now, there's a place 4 blocks from here that just opened a couple weeks ago. Queso's incredible.
Okay.
If you get a queso craving.
Got it. My queso cravings will come to you.
If you get a queso craving, you know who to call. He's really doing great for my crispy R's.
Okay. Yeah. That's excellent.
Thin, white. And people from the South know too. It's like, it's not authentic whatsoever. It's Tex-Mex. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they serve this type of queso in Mexico. I think it's totally a bastardized American version.
Sure.
But oh, baby. So I want to like dip my fingertips in it like you used to do candle wax. Like
somehow I have a visual in my past of you doing that at like a party.
Tiny plastic little bowl where you're like, can we get more queso? Damn.
What is a thick queso? That's Velveeta?
That's more of a Velveeta. Again,
Okay.
That's an at-home queso.
Got it.
Then when you go to a Mexican restaurant, sometimes they'll be like, we have queso fundido. And you're like, that's just warmed up cheese. It's going to coagulate.
Yeah.
And just be like a disc of cheese.
Yeah, gross. It's going to get gross.
Gross.
Yeah. Fair. All right. Do you ever feel like money is just flying out of your account and you have no idea where it's going? Well, guess what? I think I have an idea. It's all those pesky subscriptions. I mean, think about it. If I asked you how many subscriptions you currently have, would you be able to list them all and how much you're actually paying? Probably not, and that's where Rocket Money comes in. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills. You can see all of your subscriptions in one place, so if you see something you don't want, you can cancel it with just a tap. You never have to get on the phone with customer service. How amazing is that? Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has helped save its members on average $720 a year with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. They'll even try to get you a refund for the last couple months of wasted money and negotiate to lower your bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is take a picture of your bill and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/TMGW. That's rocketmoney.com/TMGW. rocketmoney.com/TMGW.
Y'all, just because it is the end of February doesn't mean you still can't institute some resolutions and some good habits, okay? New Year's resolutions mean saving money for a lot of people, so stop shopping without getting anything in return. I'm talking about starting to get cash back on every single purchase you make with Ibotta. Ibotta is a free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items, from groceries to beauty supplies to toys, so you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $145 a year. That can cover the cost of an entire shopping trip, okay? Buy that fight you've been eyeing, that game you're dying to go to, or that fancy dinner you've been craving, okay? It's money back just by making purchases you've already gonna make, okay? Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, just add your offers in the app, upload your receipt, and you get real cash that you can cash out to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. So join over 50 million users and earn cash back every time you shop from over 2,700 brands. Join over 50 million savers and earn cash back every time you shop from over 2,700 brands and retailers, including Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. I've literally spent money at every single one of those places this year, so why not get some money back? Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code GETWEIRD when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use code GETWEIRD. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store and use code GETWEIRD.
My number 3 is beer cheese / queso.
Okay.
Because but I don't know if that's unfair of me to put them both at that spot. I just was going hot cheese.
Well, here's the thing.
Because beer cheese is like what you dip pretzel bites and stuff into.
But that's hardened. So that's cool cheese. So I think you basically said your number 3 is a cold queso.
No, what's hot cheese? I'm imagining beer cheese is cold.
Yeah.
I'm imagining whatever the hot cheese is that you dip pretzel bites in at a movie theater.
Oh, just nacho cheese.
That's just nacho cheese. But see, I like queso too, separate. It's a smokier flavor.
Well, I feel like nacho cheese is just a more artificial queso.
Yeah, for sure. Basically, all of my dips can be found at 7-Eleven, and that's okay.
Which is, I'm going to say it right now, that's bordering sauce.
Nacho
I
cheese?
I think the pretzel bite is the star.
Well, if you have tortillas with them, because it's pretty much the same, like as if you got like nachos at the movie theater and you dip the nachos in.
I look.
Pretzel's not the star.
I have got to call it out when I feel like we might get blowback.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I have queso as well.
Okay. Well, yeah, you got a safety. Now, beer cheese, as we know from watching Vanderpump Rules,
right.
Brittany and Jax.
Yeah, she's got her own beer cheese.
Meemaw's beer cheese.
Yeah.
I think beer cheese is more like the canister, and it's like, it's a cheese dip, but like it's served cold, almost like a hummus.
Oh, I thought it was hot. Yeah. Okay, never mind then. Never mind on the beer cheese, straight up nacho cheese and or queso.
You're bringing up a good point, though, because there was a minute there where I go, is fondue cheese a dip?
I don't know. This is where the boundaries get really blurry.
I was like, can I throw up like a Swiss Gruyere?
Yes, yeah,
fondue
would be a dip. I would consider it a dip because
it's an experience.
Again, it's the star, and you choose all the accoutrements. Those can rotate around whatever your...
That's true. The
centerpieces. Yeah, the main character.
This is stressful.
This is not helping the anxiety we already came into this episode with. No, this is heated because we're passionate and about this, and we're not liars.
Yeah, we're not liars. We're going to tell you what we decided. Was that your number 3?
That was number 3.
Okay, here's my number 3, which again, it's not the one of the most pops.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you right now, specifically black bean dip.
Have I had this? I don't know.
Maybe it is specific to like a couple restaurants I went to when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But it's so unlike a 7-layer where it's a refried. This is the full black beans with like seasoning and all this stuff, baked in a big ramekin with cheese on top. So you're getting full beans.
Whoa, full beans.
Full beans. So it's almost like a chili.
Yeah. So that's a dip.
It's a dip. It's a dip.
Wow. And you dip it chips.
Yeah.
Tortillas.
Chips or flour tortillas.
Okay. Wow.
And I love it.
I don't think I've ever had this.
Daddy, I love him. Again, that's one that it's like specific to memories, and I used to make it in my 20s, and really some people could be like, you're just eating beans with chips.
Yeah. But that
again, controversial.
Also, that's what I used to eat in Brooklyn when I had like no money.
Exactly.
Just get cans of black beans.
You know what came close to my list, which I don't think is on yours, but like in that same bean world?
Yeah.
Cowboy caviar.
Didn't even think about that.
Wait,
is that is a dip because it's like corn.
It's like a chunky dip.
Yeah. And that's
corn,
cold.
Black-eyed peas, cold. It's good stuff. A little bell pepper, a little onion.
Delicious.
A little red wine vin.
Yeah, that's nice stuff. But see, I have to be in the mood for that. I feel like the creamier dips I could eat all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, number 4. Yeah, I'm looking at this going, is this really what I believe? And I believe it is. Spinach and artichoke dip.
Came in your 4th.
Came in 4th.
There's
And
my girl.
I was thinking Houston's. That's the first one that comes to mind.
Should we go on a double date there this weekend?
100%.
Throwing it out there.
100%. Yes. Yes.
Chip loves it too.
Yeah, spinach artichoke dip. I don't want it all the time. Elliot loves spinach artichoke dip.
Okay.
So we order from like California Pizza Kitchen, or we have ordered from Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
Their dip. To get it delivered, it really compromises the quality of it.
How is the Cheesecake Factory spinach dip? Because
I gotta try. It's probably better to have
Don't
it in
speak
the
ill.
restaurant. I know.
Don't speak ill of your
I gotta make sure that that gift card link that seemed, I hope wasn't a virus.
all of a sudden your card is expired.
We get it delivered sometimes, and then we're always disappointed with getting it delivered because it takes forever to get to our house, and then it's all not the best. It's not fresh out of the oven, but it's not bad. And I really, really like spinach artichoke dip, but I can't have it all the time.
Now let me ask you.
Yeah.
Have you ever made it?
No. Well, here's the thing too. Right before, like the year before the breast cancer, I was having all these stomach issues, as you know.
You were in the SIBOs and the NEBOs and all that.
Could not figure out exactly what the deal was. Still not
low FOD.
Low FOD map. Still not totally sure. But since I got C. diff, like my stomach has been better than it has ever been. At least knock on wood, in a long time. But before that, I was getting an upset stomach eating spinach. So I had stopped eating spinach for like a year. Because I was so afraid of getting like an upset stomach from it. And I couldn't figure out like, why is this thing suddenly making me feel like shit when I've eaten it for years and it's been fine?
Yeah.
Now I can eat it again, which is incredible.
All bets
to
are
me.
off.
Yeah. Like anemia who anymore?
Hell yeah.
But that said, I do want to make a spinach artichoke dip. I've never made it.
I've made it before. I've made it a couple times. I did make it a couple times unsuccessfully. You know what I mean? However, like a year ago, me and Jacqueline had a night where we did all Hillstones, Houston's copycat recipes.
Nice.
The Emerald Kale salad,
Fun.
etc. And we called it Houston's.
Cute.
And I made the spinach dip and it was pretty good. But you know what? It's kind of like this.
Yeah.
Is you can make it well, but there's something about someone else making it for you. In the same way that like when I go to a bar and they make me a perfect drink, I'm like, I can absolutely make that at home. But you know what? It's just special that I didn't have to.
Exactly.
I've got no cheesy pans
Yes.
to wash.
Exactly. Because it does, spinach artichoke dip does look like it has been through it by the time it gets to your table.
It's lava.
Like it is, the corners are burnt if you're lucky or a little toasted.
Oh my God. You peel the little cheese off this, the little drip off this. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm proud it came on there and I'm really proud that we're going this weekend.
Yes.
My number 4, this might be my most controversial take because it is very specific.
Okay.
It is specifically because I'm thinking about what do I like the most.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I will absolutely murder just straight up Tostino salsa with a bag of lime tortilla chips. Not good salsa. I love good
that's
salsa.
not good salsa. It's watery, right?
Not good salsa.
But see because the lime chips are fantastic.
Fantastic.
God, they're so good.
But they're so they
good.
hurt so good. Yeah, I'm going to the corner of that bag and sticking licked
They
fingers
are,
in there.
It is burning the corners of my mouth, and I am still chomping in there.
It is taking enamel off, and I don't care. But there's something about, again, this is a nostalgia. When I'm talking about it, a couple weeks ago, did it again, is I love a fresh salsa. I love to make tomatillo salsa. I love a roasted salsa, a mango salsa. I love going to the Mexican restaurant and sitting down with their delicious salsa. But every so often, I just want fucking corner store jar. You're getting in there, you're going so hard that you're like, why didn't I put this in a bowl? I just got salsa knuckles.
My fist will get stuck in this.
And then you're just one of those bears with a jar stuck on his head. And you know what? I thought it deserved a place.
Yeah, I'm all for that. The nostalgia of it's great. Also, they make great queso too, or their version of queso, which, look, that Elliot loves that. That's like one of his faves. But I mean, he is no stranger to loving any sort of cheese dip.
Here's why I think I don't get down with their queso is because I never have a microwave. And,
yeah.
the idea of eating it cold is strange to me.
That's a high person behavior.
Well, I went to Mexico with a friend this weekend, and I was like, I know we're in Mexico. Is it going to be weird not to drunkenly eat a thing of Tostino's room temp cheese? Because that's like her go-to. And every time I'd be like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But the salsa, not good salsa.
No.
Unless they want to sponsor us. But yeah, it deserved a spot.
Hey.
Just straight up jarred salsa.
I think that's great.
Thank you.
Okay, this is my fifth one.
Oh, wow.
This one
Okay.
is also super specific.
Okay.
Like I said, I struggled with stomach stuff before all the cancer stuff, and I was very much into low FODMAP foods because I thought I was having bouts of SIBO, and I found this recipe for this roasted carrot jalapeno salsa with pepitas.
Oh.
From Feed Me Phoebe, who I love. I tagged her on Instagram like a year ago, and she sent me her cookbook, and she does a ton of low FODMAP stuff that's so delicious. So check her out. But this dip is this like roasted carrots with cumin and chili powder and oregano and fresh lime juice and pepitas. I think that's how you say them.
Yeah.
And you basically just roast the carrots and then you blend it all up, and it is so good.
You made it for me one time.
Yeah.
And it haunts me.
Right? It's so good. And you're like, this isn't bad for you either.
It was so delicious. And for some reason, I thought it was more of like a curry base. But that makes sense for it not to be if it was low FODMAP.
Yeah.
But it had a lot of flavor and it was different.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it.
It's different. You'd have to, I feel like you either like it and it is provocative and you're like, let me try more of this. And then you really like it.
There are two dips that almost made it that I feel like have similar vibes as that one. And that I love to make romesco sauce and also mahamara, which is like, they're both roasted red pepper based.
Oh, yeah.
Sauces. Like mahamara is with like pomegranate molasses and walnuts, and romesco is with like lots of paprika and almonds.
Nice.
And I had mahamara last night, but I ultimately did not. But I respect the carrot.
Yeah, I had to throw
I thought
it
that
on
might be
there.
a sauce. I thought mine might be a sauce.
Also, I just had to have a little bit of diversity with all the creams. Something for the upset tummy people out there.
Right. Totally. Here's my last one. Again, unlike Tostino's, these are based on like sometimes I just like have to have it.
Okay.
I know I'm going to get so much blowback about the black bean dip. I'm already regretting it.
No, I think you're opening people's minds.
I mean, I almost baba ganoush. There was a lot of stuff.
My runner-up is baba ganoush.
Okay, baba. Well, here's the thing. Every once in a while, when I go to like a really nice fancy steakhouse or something, and they have homemade potato chips with caramelized onion dip.
Hell yeah. That's delicious. I didn't even think about that.
I have one in my book, in my cookbook.
Oh, that's so good.
It's so good. And here's the deal. Yes, people will do the onion dip where they're like, oh, it's just sour cream with the French creamy, onion soup or whatever. I want the one where it's the slow roasted onions. Like you have actual onion bits in it and it's homemade. Not like the like quick Super Bowl one. It still has creams in it. Yeah. Okay. It still has creams, but
with a chip, that's delicious.
But with like a homemade, like fucking black pepper potato chip.
Yeah. Yeah. Hearty, crispy.
Again, it's something I'd probably...
like a Ford truck.
It's probably something I have less than once a year. But when I go to that spot and I go, this is the kind of place that slow caramelizes their onions and puts in like, thyme and like delicious like French onion base.
And they're always candle lit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, look at me dipping these chips by candlelight right now.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy, delicious.
That was my sexiest dip.
Yeah, that really is a sexy dip. Damn. Wow. Okay, that was your number 5?
That was my number 5. I'll say right now, the dip I eat more than anything is hummus, and it did not make my list.
That's the same for me, because it's just fine.
It's absolutely okay.
And it's available everywhere.
Yeah, it's tough. It's kind of like, I was talking about this the other day to myself in my book, where I was just like, I don't remember when the hummus train came to town because we did not eat hummus growing up. When did Sabra become a staple?
I think like
when was this?
I feel like when I moved to New York, it was available in every bodega that it was like, look at me, fancy adult woman living the life in New York City buying hummus.
Right.
Like it was really like a sign of success.
I remember I was dating a guy, don't kill him, Chip. But I was dating someone who went to a different college, and I remember going and visiting his apartment, and he had like a very like hippie roommate, and she made hummus, and I was like, what is this? Because they were all vegetarian. I was like, what is this? So I don't even think I tried hummus till college, and then all of a sudden it's like hummus is on
it's everywhere.
It's on every single table that has like a snack. Any kind of like welcome, just nosh a little
when
table.
When I ever first started throwing like a party at a place that I lived, hummus was like the number one grocery we had to go buy because like that's what you show people you have.
That's what you get. Even when like Chip comes home, and he's the same way with me. Like when I'll be like, oh, they're coming back. Let me get like some staple snacks they like. Yeah. It'll always be like a hummus with a Parmesan cracker or whatnot. However, I mean, what does that say? Hummus is always there for us. Mm-hmm. And she didn't make the top 5.
Right. And I was thinking, because I was like, I don't always have baba ganoush, but when I'm in the mood for it, it's so good.
Oh, baba ganoush.
I've never enjoyed hummus as much as I've enjoyed baba ganoush when I'm in the mood for it.
If it's a good baba, unparalleled.
Fantastic.
I need that fresh everything. Yeah. Because you get that smokiness, that, so good. Yeah. Now, here's what I'll say from looking up dips.
Yeah.
Thing that I need to bring into my repertoire, but it's normally a meat thing, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do, is some type of buffalo dip.
That was so prevalent when I looked up dips that I was like, I can't say that I've had this before.
No, but I've seen
it looks great.
I've seen a couple people doing like a cannellini bean buffalo dip. Oh,
interesting. I mean, buffalo sauce is delicious to me. I will say on this list of dips by state, North Carolina's dip.
Oh God,
sausage dip.
Sausage dip is
I've
huge.
never heard of this before.
Sausage dip is huge. I've told you. I've
it's 3 ingredients.
I've had a heated Thanksgiving because they started eating without me because the sausage balls were leaving.
Oh no.
Yeah, they do not fuck around with their sausage, and it's basically like a queso but with like crumbled sausage in it.
Yes, and it looks good. New Jersey's dip is the spinach dip, not spinach artichoke. Just spinach.
Just spinach dip.
Spinach. Oh no! It says spinach, peppers, artichoke hearts.
That's
Why are you
weird.
calling it spinach?
Here's
dip?
the thing: is I don't believe these graphics.
Not at all. Not at all. I don't know where they're getting their data. I don't know. Because also the grossest thing was that Alabama's dip is pepper jelly cheese dip.
Here's the thing: a pepper jelly with cream cheese is actually pretty popular. In the South, it's like a red pepper jelly, whatever. Now here we go. Here's where we have to draw the lines. Is this a dip or is this a cheese dish? Because I was like, hey, technically baked brie is kind of a dip, but I was like, no, it's a hot cheese dish, which is why I was confused with the fondue as well, even though you have the act of dipping.
Technically a hot cheese dip.
No, we're not going back on queso. We're not going back. Queso is a dip through and through.
Fair. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's on my list. Wow. Okay. I mean, this has just sparked that I need to get back into the world of dips.
I think so. And it sparked that I need you to make me that carrot dip.
Yes. It's so easy if anyone's interested. Feedmephoebe.com.
Put it on Patreon.
Yeah.
Even though it's not ours.
Oh, which by the way, patrons or potential patrons, you should go sign up if you are interested. Patreon.com/this might get weird. Just chose a book for our book club Barflies.
Oh, what is it?
The House in the Cerulean Sea.
I remember people recommending that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's hot on people's minds because recently at the SAG Awards, I think it was the SAG Awards, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and what's her face? Meryl Streep were together, and they have that big scene of like, actually it's cerulean blue.
Oh, yes, because guess what? I watched that movie for the first time last week.
Are you?
Oh, this is pre-SAG Awards.
Oh my gosh.
I know this is a long podcast today, guys. This was pre-SAG Awards, pre them reuniting. Literally, Elliot and I were just sitting there watching TV. Something came up about Devil Wears Prada. He goes, have you ever seen Devil Wears Prada? I was like, no.
Did you like it?
He immediately put it on. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a time warp immediately.
Oh, yeah.
It's made in like 2006.
In New York.
I dress like Andy, that character.
Yeah.
But it was also interesting to just see like what was a cultural phenomenon at that time. Because the message of the movie is a bit mixed.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Put your head down, let that person be a bitch, and care
Like,
about
they
stupid stuff.
Constantly celebrate her like losing weight and getting skinnier and stuff. So there's some
Yeah.
backwards
Ooh.
old rhetoric there.
And her boyfriend sucks in it.
Yeah, it's that guy. That's the guy, the hot guy, and all
Entourage.
of the broody bro
Grenier.
guy. Yeah,
Grenier.
yeah, Adrian Grenier.
Yeah, it is very of a certain time.
Yes,
However,
which was fun to see. It was like so nostalgic. I was like
Yeah.
very like, oh, my heart is melting a little bit at the beginning of this, like seeing her go through New York City and being like, man, we were in the city like right after that. It's crazy.
yeah, I moved to New York in 2005.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wild.
Okay, I think I need a rewatch, but anyway. Wow. Okay, the House of the Cerulean Sea Blue.
The House in the Cerulean Sea. Yep. And on April Fool's Day, I think we're going to do the live stream about the book. So
Wow.
if you're
Okay.
interested, sign up for our Patreon. It's open to all patron levels, the Barflies Book Club.
Yeah, and just get in there because we have so much fun stuff. Anyway, we will have another live stream coming up
For
in,
Easter, right before the week before Easter.
Is that March? What
Yes.
what month is it? Oh,
It's about to be.
It's
We have.
Leap Day.
I know. What are we gonna do with this witchy day?
With all this time. It's the weirdest week of all time. We'll take a leap. We'll do something. We'll do a leapa.
Yeah, there we go. It's her day.
All right, let us know. Weigh in on if you, besides my black bean dip, which will be controversial, let us know what dips we absolutely were dip blind to.
Yeah, because I do feel very unsettled in that we're missing something major.
I also wonder if people are going to come at us with a sweet dessert dip.
Yeah, I did see dessert dips. They're not my thing.
No, me neither.
I want like something a little bit more tangible.
You want your dessert dip just in the form of
I
a
just want
cheesecake.
frosting. I just want frosting
That's your
all the
dip.
time. If that's a dip, then yeah, that's
Then
my
she's
favorite.
back in. All right, well, this got weird.
Yep.